back to my channel. I have tried recording this video 3 times now. It's my 3rd attempt. I've just got in from a really nice day out with Kelly and Emily, and I was like, okay, when you get in, just sit down and talk. So last night I tried to record it and I couldn't do it, and I'd made notes on my phone like about what I was going to say, but I'm going to ignore that. I'm just going to sit and talk to you guys. So what I just want to talk about today, it's going to be a bit of a different video on my channel, so a bit more serious than what it normally is. I'm going to be talking about my stutter and how I deal with it, what a stutter even is, and yeah, let's just get started. So let's just start with what a stutter actually is. So what it actually says on Google is talk with continued involuntary repetition of sounds, especially initial consonants. But I mean, from my experience, it's a lot more in depth than that. So you could stutter by, yeah, like what they say, by repeating a sound or a word over and over and over until you get the whole word out, like what I just did there. Or you can also experience like mind blanks, so you'll be mid-sentence and suddenly you just won't be able to like say the word, and you'll just stop mid-sentence, and the person that you're speaking to will be like, yeah, are you gonna finish your sentence? It's like, yeah, I am, just be patient with me, girl. That I find is really common with me, and that is probably one of the most frustrating parts about it. If it was just me repeating a sound or like a word, then that to me is like, I can like deal with that. But when I can't get the word out, it's like it's almost like you're choking on your words, which is really weird and really frustrating. But yeah, I've basically stuttered for as long as I can remember. I don't remember being able to speak without having to think about speaking, if that makes sense. So every time I have a conversation with someone, I have to think about what I'm saying, which may or may not help. It may even make it worse, the fact that I'm kind of overthinking it. But I do find that when I talk about my stutter, it does actually go away, which is strange, or like it's less. So like now I'm talking about it now and I feel like I'm not stuttering that much, whereas normally I would stutter kind of every sentence, every word. And it's actually weird. I'll go through phases where my stutter is really bad. Like I'll have like a week where I can barely speak. And actually last week was actually one of those weeks for me. So my last video that I posted on my channel, if you guys haven't seen it, is the one with Talia, and we're reading out like dirty mini-zoke fan fiction. Yeah, in that video I have to read out the fan fiction stories, and I really struggled to read it out. I don't know if any of you guys noticed, but I really appreciate, like, I don't think I got any comments about it, which was like a relief, because when I was watching it back and I was like editing it through, I was like, oh god, like I can't even like read. And thing is, like, that's another thing as well that really bugs me, is the fact that I worry that people will think I'm stupid, that like I can't speak. So like, oh, like, is she stupid that she can't even speak properly? But I know that people aren't that nasty, but you know, it's always like kind of in the back of my mind, because it's quite a big insecurity of mine. If I could get rid of it, then I would. But I feel like I'm at an age now where I'm like, okay, this is part of me, this is who I am, so just gotta, it's kind of one of them things that I have to kind of manage and I have to learn to deal with. But yeah, the way that it affects me in so many aspects of my life, and I don't want this video to come across as like, oh, like poor you, like poor Freya, like poor me, at all. I just feel like I could come on here, sit in front of the camera and just share with you how it affects my life, and maybe some of you guys can relate to it. By the way, hi, my name's Freya, for those who are maybe new here. Yeah, so the way it kind of affects me is, so if I'm in like a social situation and there's new people around who I've never met before, that can trigger it quite a lot. So just as an example, I mean, there's been many times where this has happened, but one that really stands out to me, the one that's quite recent, is at the JJ versus Joe Weller boxing fight back in February. I actually met Keemstar for the first time, and I think it was like after the undercard fights, he came down and like we all like started chatting, and I was standing with Josh and I was like, oh, like I'm gonna go and introduce myself to Keemstar. And Josh was like, oh, like, do you want me to introduce you, like, for you? And I was like, oh yeah, that would be nice, like, because then it's like an easy like icebreaker, and I'm not like some random person being like, oh hi. So we went over, I was like hi, and he was like hi, and I was like ha 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 ha, and I couldn't freaking say how are you. And when I was like going ha 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 ha, he looked over at Josh and was like he bless him, like he wasn't being mean, like I just don't think he understood what was going on. So it's fine, like I still love him, like I think he's great. But yeah, he looked at Josh like, is she alright, kind of thing. And then I looked at Josh and was like, oh, I can't say it. And Josh was like, oh, and like try again. So I was like, how are you? And it was just like, by that point it was just, I might as well just walk away, do you know what I mean? It was one of them, I felt so uncomfortable. And but yeah, he was nice, and he was like, yeah, I'm good, how are you? And I was like, yeah, I'm good, thank you. But then it was kind of awkward, like because I had that moment, and it's like it was so frustrating, like I can't even tell you. And then him and Josh just like started talking about something else, and I literally just wanted the ground to swallow me. Like I just walked away, because I was like, oh, that was brutal, like honestly brutal. So yeah, that happens to me quite a lot, especially with new people, because I don't know if they're going to be nice or going to be rude or whatever. So like it's like the anxiety of like them being nasty about it. And also like if I'm going into like a coffee shop, so like another example I have certain words that I can't say, or that I struggle to say. One of them being delivery and another one being cappuccino, which is like my favorite coffee, so it's like so annoying. But yeah, I went into Costa with my best friend Kelly, and I obviously went in and I ordered a cappuccino. I went in and I was like, hi, can I have a... And I couldn't say it, like I fully could not say the word. And I said it again, I was like, can I have a... And it just would not come out. Like the most frustrating thing, like I'm not stupid, I know how to speak, I know what I want to say, I just can't say it. So I actually had to look over at Kel and be like, Kel, like what do I want? And she was like, oh, can she have a cappuccino please? And I was like, oh, that's so humiliating. Like I have the bestest friends around me, so like I never feel uncomfortable around them, and like they're always like happy to help me, like if I need like assistance in speaking. But especially Kelly, like she's like my number one bae. And yeah, so she ordered for me, and it was just like I just went bright red, because it's like, why can't I just speak? Like, and like I think that's what is really frustrating, is that speech is such like a basic human thing to do. Like that's how we communicate, that's how we express ourselves, and I sometimes can't do that, like, and it is the most frustrating thing in the world. I also admire, like another reason that gave me like confidence in uploading this video is a YouTuber called Drew Lynch. And if no one's heard of him, go check him out. He's honestly such an inspiration to me. He's got quite a severe stutter, but he fully owns it. Like he's a stand-up comedian, he posts videos all the time, and he doesn't like cut out his stutter, which I am guilty of doing in my videos that I've already uploaded. Which, by the way, in this video I'm not going to be cutting out any extra syllables that I make. I'm just going to leave it in, because I just want this video to be raw, like organic, sat down with you guys and just kind of be open myself. So yeah, I'm not going to do that. The only cuts that you'll see are me just kind of like jumping from bit to bit, but I won't edit out any syllables, if that makes sense. But yeah, Drew Lynch, he is honestly incredible. I really look up to him, because I really rate the fact that he's just himself and he doesn't hide it. He's great. He's honestly amazing. And I actually watched a video that he posted recently with a girl called Matisse. She's also got a stutter / stammer, so that's the same thing, but I think Americans actually say stutter. I don't really know why I say it, but I've always called it a stutter. But yeah, he done a video with her, and it's like it's just so comforting knowing that you're not alone, and their stutter is more severe than mine, so it's comforting, like knowing that you're not the only one. And it also inspired me, yeah, to make this video and maybe see if there's anyone in my kind of like community who also struggle with the same thing. And even people who are like clicking onto this video who aren't part of like who are new here. Like if you are struggling, or like if you've searched this if you've searched for this video, then, you know, like, if you are struggling, then I hope that this can help you in some way, or even just comfort you. Like, I haven't really got advice because I stutter myself. I'm not one to give advice on that. I don't know, like, I have good and bad weeks, like ups and downs, but just as like a comfort thing, like you're not alone, like all of that stuff. And yeah, that's exactly what Drew does to me. Like, I feel like he just comforts me a lot. Something that I actually experience quite frequently, and it's by no fault of like their own, is that like if I'm mid-sentence, and as I said before, like if I just stop mid-sentence because I can't get the word out just yet, like I have to wait for the word to come to me, if that makes sense, but the other person kind of finishes your sentence. I don't hate it, because sometimes I appreciate the fact that I now haven't got to say the word, but sometimes if I'm passionate on the topic or whatever and they finish the sentence for me, and like say it isn't what I'm gonna say, and it's like that they've just assumed what I'm saying, I don't like it, because it's like, let me finish the sentence. Like, if you know that I've got a stutter and stuff, like, but like the thing is, it's hard because some people will do that without even thinking. Like, they'll just be like, oh yeah, blah blah. Even I do it as well, but I think when people do it to me because they know that I've got a stutter, I don't know, I just feel like, just wait for me to finish like the sentence. But I'm so lucky to have the people that I have around me, like my friends, and Josh is really good with it as well. Like, I don't think he's ever finished my sentence for me or anything like that. He's always really patient for me to like just get my words out, even like in an argument or whatever. Like, he's never like been nasty about it or whatever, and I really like appreciate that, because it's something that gets me. Like, sometimes it'll get really bad and I'll genuinely get down about it and I'll sit and cry, which is like, sounds so pathetic, but it's an ongoing thing. Like, things that people do every day is not simple for me. So even sitting with like a group of friends and like saying a joke, but that those jokes that are like quick-witted and you have to say it at the right time and the delivery has to be right and stuff, like, I can't do that. Like, I physically cannot do that, and if I do, I'll stutter on it. It ruins the delivery, and and then like the joke is just like not funny, and like comebacks and like stuff like that, I don't know, it's just like, I can't do that really, because it's not funny, and it's just awkward. And I feel like the room is awkward when I try and do it. Like, that might just be me being like paranoid and overthinking it, but it makes me like, I just worry that it's just, I'm making people uncomfortable, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And like, even stuff like job interviews, like, that is a mission and a half. Like, I know for everyone an interview is like terrifying. Obviously you're under a lot of pressure, like you have to be prepared and stuff, but for people with a stutter, it's that plus the fact that you don't want to come across as if you're more nervous than what you are, because people confuse a stutter. So you'll find that people will say, oh, I stutter sometimes, or oh yeah, like I have a bit of a stutter, and they don't. They just stutter when they're nervous, or do you know what I mean? It's not the same thing. Or like they'll speak too fast and they'll stumble over their words. It's not the same thing as having a stutter, like, not even close. And like, that's another thing that's a bit frustrating, because it's like, you're kind of taking away the severity of it, and it, like, because it like, does it affect your everyday life? No. Like, it affects you when maybe you get nervous, or like you're excited and like you stutter a lot, but it's not a stutter. Like, a stutter is something that you just have. Like, even speaking to my parents, I stutter. Speaking to Josh, I stutter. Speaking to my best friends, I stutter. Like, it isn't just new people, like, it's an everyday thing. But yeah, so interviews and stuff, like, it's stress. Like, so before I got a job at Sidemen Clothing, I was going for a lot of interviews for like, kind of like admin work and stuff, because I just left being an estate agent in London, which, by the way, was a really bad job for me because of my stutter. So being on the phone, I mean, I'm going off on a tangent, but being on the phone is the worst thing ever for someone with a stutter, because you can't read the body language, you can't read the facial expressions. Like, I talk a lot with like my hands to kind of get my point out there, and it also helps me force the word out. Like, I've noticed that a lot of people with a stutter will kind of tap to kind of get the word out. Like, it's honestly, like, it's so interesting. Obviously, being in that job, a lot of it is doing cold calls, speaking to vendors, speaking to your buyers, your clients. speaking to solicitors, and they have to rely on your voice over the phone, and it is difficult. Like, it's very, very stressful. I'm trying to force the words out. It sounds like I'm actually choking. Like, I'm not even joking. It's horrible. Like, I honestly hate speaking on the phone so much. But yeah, so I left that job anyway. I hated it, and I signed up to a recruitment agency, and they were really, really good. They got me loads of interviews and stuff, which helps with my interview practice overall, but they were brutal, man. Like, the interviews were brutal because I couldn't speak, and like, I knew what I wanted to say, and I know how to come across as a confident person, but when I get caught in a stutter, it just knocks me back, because I'm like, oh god, like, he's gonna think I'm stupid, or he's gonna think that I'm weird or something. And it's like, and you know, like it or not, like, people judge, innit? And there are some people who maybe wouldn't want that in their workplace because that's not going to be good for the role, or I don't know, like. But yeah, so interviews is another very like stressful situation, I find. Also, like, it sounds stupid, but when I grow up and have kids and stuff, how do I shout at my kid with authority if I'm going to be like, stop that? Like, it's like, what? Like, and I worry that like my kid will be like, and like will kind of mimic it, and I'm not ready for that, innit? Like, I am not prepared for that kind of abuse from my child. And saying all this, I have tried to go to a therapist, quite expensive per session. I went for like an initial session. She said about, you know, you can do like group classes and stuff, which can help, or you can do one-on-one. It's just so expensive, and I've heard a lot of people say that therapy hasn't helped them, which made me doubt whether it's going to help me. And I know that obviously that's not a way to think about it, but you know, like, if there's not like a foolproof thing, because I don't want to be like disappointed. So if there's a chance that it's not going to work, it's a bit like, I don't want to waste my time, if that makes sense. So anyway, I don't know, this is just a kind of brief video on it. I might do another video, like a Stutter Q&A video, so you guys can send in questions. So make sure you follow me on my socials, which I'll leave like here, just so that you guys can tweet me questions if you're new here, blah blah blah. I think that would be good to do. Like, honestly, sitting down here and like chatting about it was really hard, because it's something that I live with. It isn't like a situation that I've been through or whatever, like, it's my life. So sitting here and trying to think of examples and like trying to talk to you about it, I don't know, I found it so hard. Honestly, it's my third attempt like trying to record this video, and I just didn't know how to put it across, and all like I just didn't know what to do. But yeah, I'm gonna leave like a few clips like at the end of this video, just kind of some clips of where I've stuttered that I've edited out of my previous videos, because I think I just want to be transparent. When I started this channel, I was like, oh no, like it's fine, like I'll just leave my stutter in there. But then I started to record, and I was like, no, like, I cannot leave that in there, like, I have to cut it out. And it's like, why? Like, just be yourself. Practice what you preach. Like, I'm always on Twitter, like, obviously saying about to love yourself and to always be yourself. So I need to just take my own advice, really. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you understand a little bit more about a stutter, what a stutter is. Make sure you check out Drew Lynch as well. He's honestly such a cool guy and has helped me a lot, just in the whole kind of YouTube aspect of doing videos and stuff. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Try and find clothes that matched or were at least close enough, and I think I've done a pretty good job of that. Today we are doing the chapstick challenge. So we're just gonna blitz through these. I've screenshotted quite a few. So the first look that I tried to recreate was this one. I hope you don't forget me like that in a few years. So I hope you don't forget me like I hope you don't forget me like that in a few years. Simon laughed. We could not for the life of us find a location that was similar to hers. I asked you guys on Twitter to ask us some questions using the hashtag Fremily. So yeah, obviously could not afford a Chanel tee or a Chanel bag. I think she had like a Gucci This isn't the kind of thinking you should be doing. Be doing it about different guys. Josh's house, because he's the only person that I know who's got a ginormous island in their kitchen. We still haven't made a mutual decision about whose channel this was gonna go up on. We were gonna do mine, but we thought the other video we did was more of my channel genre kind of thing. You can uncover your eyes now, Simon. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. Basically, Ethan, I have to snog these guys. So in these eggs, I've got seven. I've got. I've got 7 eggs because there's 7 forfeits.